Hurricane season starts today, and the forecast calls for a dangerously active year, mainly due to the developing La Nina and record warm North Atlantic waters. But what are the chances that the US will be impacted this year? Well, to find the answer to that question, we need to look closely over at the Pacific Ocean, specifically near the equator. Last year, all of this water, both at the surface and deep down below, was extremely warm. But now we have a developing area of colder than normal waters stretching from South America all the way to Hawaii. These colder waters will cause the winds way up above plane height to calm down over the tropical Atlantic due to less convective outflow, keeping wind shear weak. This is all part of a normal cycle called the El Niño Southern Oscillation, and the colder version is known as La Nina. Last year, the warmer waters in the Pacific sort of suppressed our hurricane season, although the supercharged warm Atlantic waters still kept hurricane season fairly active. But I'm shocked that these waters have only gotten hotter since last year. As a matter of fact, this year, every single location where Atlantic hurricanes typically form has the warmest sea surface temperatures and deepest warm ocean on record. The entire Gulf of Mexico is now up to 28.5 degrees Celsius, which is 1.5 degrees Celsius above average. No one really knows why these waters are so anomalously warm, but one theory of mine connects it back to the Hunga Tunga volcanic eruption of 2022. The eruption was conveniently timed so that its effects would be felt in the northern hemisphere by 2023, and since then, the Atlantic has been the warmest it has ever been. Unlike last year, however, the La Nina is likely to work in tandem with these warm waters to produce a potentially hyperactive hurricane season. Although we have never seen the Atlantic Ocean quite this warm, years like 2005, 2010, and 2020 continuously show up as analogs for how this season could go. Each of these years were either extremely active or hyperactive years, with 2005 bringing the unfortunate Hurricane Katrina into New Orleans, doing billions of dollars in damage. But there is one fly in the ointment in this extreme forecast, and that is dry air. Throughout every hurricane season, you sometimes see some dry air emerge in the tropics, either from North America or the dusty Saharan desert. These hurricanes are like big heat engines, and the presence of dry air can make the gears rusty, keeping these storms from forming and maintaining strength. However, this dry air can really only be forecasted well up to 10 days in advance, so no one really knows how it could dampen our hurricane season. But what we can understand is that every other signal points toward an extremely active hurricane season, and with these other factors, these storms could easily fight off this dry air to potentially impact land. So that's the big question. Will these storms curve out to sea as fish storms, or are they more likely to impact people on land? Well, having more storms form and get stronger out here is like buying more lottery tickets in the hurricane lottery, so that automatically does increase our chances of at least one of these hurricanes coming to the US. But that does not necessarily guarantee that we're going to see many landfalls. I would guess, based on the warm subtropical Atlantic, that there is a good chance that that pesky Bermuda High, which loves to steer hurricanes into North America, will remain generally strong this season. So there will likely be more US landfalls than last year. With all these factors in mind, most model guidance is giving the most aggressive hurricane season forecasts we have ever seen. Even the seasoned professionals at NOAA and Colorado State University are giving some of their most bullish forecasts ever, specifically stating that it is below most model guidance. In spite of that, NOAA forecasts about 21 named storms, 10 hurricanes, and 6 major hurricanes, with an 85% chance of an above average season. Now, I think that there is a chance that the Saharan dust will be more impactful on storm development than most are thinking, despite the record hot ocean and the low wind shear. While a typical season sees 10 named storms with 6 hurricanes and 3 major hurricanes, I'm forecasting about 20 named storms with 9 hurricanes and 5 of them being category 3 or higher. Even though I'm forecasting more on the conservative side, I'm still calling for a well above average hurricane season with perhaps more US landfalls than in years past. So unfortunately, there is a good chance that our historically active tornado season will swiftly be followed by a potentially hyperactive hurricane season. But there isn't a better time than now to make sure you are prepared by making sure that you have an evacuation plan, staying stocked on canned foods and batteries, and keeping important documents safe. I will be live here on YouTube with Mason and other chasers whenever we do get a hurricane impacting people this year, making sure that you all are safe from the dangerous storm surge, flooding rains, and strong winds that hurricanes bring. If you want to see how one of our other hurricane chases in the past went, watch this video on screen now.